All right, if you're watching this video, then you probably have been through my craziness in class and forgot to go through the steps on how to create a virtual disk or hard disk for your new operating system that we're going to be doing for your final project. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that to kind of catch up to where you need to be in our current state. So what you'll see is what is the end result of the previous 5 videos. So this being video number 6, I'm going to go ahead and get started on showing how to create a virtual hard disk to add to this to make it a secondary. So we're going to go to each of these items here. We're going to look at the storage, click on your VDI, which is your virtual desktop infrastructure or identity file. You're going to create a virtual hard disk. Okay, this window will pop up that says hard disk selector. You're not adding one, we're going to create one. So click create. We're not going to do the image, we're doing a hard disk. So virtual hard disk, VHD. And then we're going to click next, next. We're going to add another 50 gig to it using the same VHD. We're going to add it to our current storage for the server and click finish. Now you see it's not attached. So go ahead and choose that. We're going to make sure there's nothing else here that we want to add. Okay. So you have a virtual size and actual size. You can check your SATA ports. Make sure everything's good. Put it on your SATA port here. We want to put it attached to SATA port 3. Because on SATA port 0, we have that one, which is the and there. Okay, so we'll click OK. Now you'll see here a lot of things changed. So your video memory is 128 for me. Then you have normal 50 gig right there for SATA port. Has your optical drive at port 1. So we're going to see about making sure that that SATA drive is officially there. We need to make sure that all the storage is available. So we're going to go back to storage. Okay, and then click on that the little button right there. Adds hard disk. Click on the one that's not attached here at the bottom. Choose. We're going to make sure that that original one is the SATA port 0. So we're going to move this guy to 3 and this guy to 0. So now your original 100 gig is SATA port 0. Your optical can be moved down. We'll move that down here. And then we'll move this guy back up. So SATA port 1. So 0, 1, and SATA port 4, which is fine. Okay, so now you see your VDI, the original virtual disk image here at the very top. Then you have your secondary SATA port. Now let's go ahead and start the VM. Take a look at what happens. Powers the VM up. Now, if you recall, in one of the videos, I created another type of virtual disk, but that's because we did a partition allocation different at the very beginning of the video 1. So in this, what we're doing is we built a virtual hard disk that's completely separate from the entire operating system, and then attaching it as you would in a SAN environment or storage area network environment. So think of it as an extra blade that we're throwing at this operating system. Excuse me, for the hardware. So now at this point, we're just waiting for the operating system to load. It does take a bit now that we've got a new few new settings involved. So we'll just wait for it to load. Now, while this is loading, I do recommend and highly recommend that you watch this video in its entirety. Make sure you get those virtual hard disks added to it. That will help you out in your final project. It's not difficult, as you saw. It's just a quick allocation change within there. As you saw, I also fumbled around to it myself. So it's not too difficult to find, but once you find it, you're good to go. So now we're to the point now where the applies the settings. We got the operating system loaded. We're going to log in with our domain admin. And we're going to go straight away after everything, all the services load. We're going to go straight away to the data management or disk management service to make sure that it's seeing that new SATA port, that virtual hard disk over here. So we'll let this all load, all the little crazy pop-ups that come up normally when you're doing a lab environment. We'll let that go through. Okay, just waiting for that other crazy pop-up that comes up. Looks like everything's going good. Remote desktop stuff. Of course, local server. There's the pop-up. All right, so we're going to right-click down here. We're going to go to disk management. Take a look and see what it does. Check it out. It shows, hey, you must initialize the disk before Logical Disk Manager can access it. So we're going to do, in this one, it's not going to be a master boot record, but a GUID or GPT partition table. So we're going to select GPT and say OK. Next, we're going to maximize this. Now you'll see this 0 is up here, has the extra partition that we created in our other video, but now you see disk 1 down here at the bottom. So now we're going to click on it, then right click on it, new simple volume. Go through that same new simple volume wizard to do the formatting, make sure we get a good allocation size. Go ahead and put everything in there. We're going to use F in this case, minimize that crazy pop-up. We're going to use F in this case and use it for files. Click next, files, leave it like that is, click next, and then finish. Just wait for it to go through. It's a healthy partition now. So now when you go over here to the file share, you can, by all intents and purposes, you could go ahead and go back and recreate the file shares on that new F drive. See, now you have the file share here that we created throughout our video sessions, and now you have these files. So feel free to go ahead and create your shares here, complete your final project, but this gives you an opportunity to be able to catch up and do exactly what was missing from the week 4 and 5 steps and progress for the items. So if you wish to resubmit for posterity's sake in the future, a screenshot of your new disks and everything, feel free to do so. And by all means, be ready for your final project. That's all I ask. And I thank you for your time. And again, this is only if you didn't do it prior to 9/22/2023. If you are a class that is beyond this date, this will be posted for week 5 to show up. That way you can go ahead and get this done and posted for your final project and final snapshot turn in. All right. Thank you for your time and you have a blessed day.